Okay, so you've probably seen those headlines, right? Some simple domain name sells for like millions of dollars. And the first reaction, almost always, is cynicism.
Yeah, people immediately jump to, oh, that's just speculation, like digital trading cards or something. Buy low, hope it blows up.
Exactly. It frames the whole thing as this kind of speculative gamble.
And honestly,
Yeah.
a lot of people, maybe even most investors, do treat it that way. But what we want to do today, our mission, is to really flip that perspective entirely.
We're diving into a pretty radical, almost mathematical way of looking at domain value, championed by Rick Schwartz, the guy they call the Domain King.
Right. And his whole thing, his philosophy, changes the game.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because the core idea isn't about what a domain sold for yesterday. It's way bigger than that. It's about what that domain name replaces.
In the real physical commercial world.
So our goal here is to really get into this replacement cost model. Understand why he insists domain valuation is math, not speculation.
Yeah, and what's really key here is how the definition of value shifts. It stops being about, comparing sales like houses on a street.
It becomes functional.
Totally functional. So that big question, how much is this name worth? The answer isn't some appraisal guess. It becomes a calculation, like you said.
You figure out how much would it cost in time, in money, in risk to actually replicate what this name does instantly.
Exactly. How much does it cost to replace its function?
That definitely elevates the whole discussion. It's not just digital assets anymore. It's economic utility. Well, okay, why did Schwartz see this so early? We need to go back, right?
To the mid-90s.
Yeah, you really have to put yourself back there. Mid-90s internet, most people saw it as what? A fad? A toy? Maybe like a digital brochure that didn't do much?
Like static pages, not this dynamic thing we know now.
But Schwartz looked at a simple.com and he saw, well, digital land. That was his term. He saw them as the future corner lots, the prime spots on the busiest streets on Earth. Permanent, visible, zero friction. That's a powerful way to put it. Not just a temporary address, but like permanent global infrastructure.
And that leads right into his big idea, economic compression.
Okay, economic compression. Sounds a bit academic. Can you break down what that actually means for, say, a business?
Yeah, sure. So think of it like this. A really great domain name essentially squeezes or compresses an entire business model. All the risk, all the startup capital, the time it takes to launch into just a few words.
Wow. So the name itself does the heavy lifting.
Pretty much. It acts like the blueprint for the business. It's the corner lot in this digital city, yeah. And it's the storefront for the idea all at once.
So it's not just the sign, it's the foundation and the sign ready to go.
Delivered instantly. That's the key. It gives immediate authority. It's like opening the front door of a company that somehow already exists in people's minds.
Yeah.
Because the name is so good, so intuitive.
It accelerates trust.
That's a great way to put it. It accelerates trust and bypasses years of effort and spending you normally need to establish that.
Okay, let's make that really tangible. Start with the most obvious thing a domain can replace. Physical buildings, massive overhead, land.
Right. This was kind of the first layer of the replacement idea. Avoiding physical costs. Think about building a big department store. The sources we looked at detail this.
Yeah, I saw that. We're talking land purchase, construction, getting all the loans, insurance, inventory, utilities. It's enormous.
The estimate was what, $50 million just to get the doors open?
For $50 million before you sell a single thing, and then like another $1 million every month just for overhead, maintenance, staff, keeping the lights on. It's just colossal risk.
Colossal is the word. And here's where the domain steps in as the replacement. A single, powerful, category-defining domain name. It basically replaces the authority and the global accessibility of that physical store.
Offers global reach, 2047, with almost none of that overhead.
Exactly. Minimal overhead, minimal operational risk compared to the physical behemoth. It provides instant economic utility.
Okay, let me push back slightly here, though. Does a domain really replace a $50 million store? I mean, you still need warehouses, servers, logistics, people.
Ah, good question. And that's the crucial distinction. It doesn't replace the inventory or the servers directly. It replaces the economic function of the prime physical location and, importantly, all the associated debt and risk.
Ah, okay.
It replaces the need for those massive construction loans, the property taxes, the physical limitations of being in just one city or one place. The $50 million isn't about avoiding buying stock. It's about avoiding the catastrophic upfront cost and risk of building that physical presence and authority.
So the domain is the prime location, instantly. globally, without the $50 million hole in your pocket first.
You got it. It wipes out that initial capital expenditure and the friction of location.
That clarifies it a lot. Okay, so we've replaced the building. Now, the concept evolves, right? Moving beyond physical stuff to replacing human labor, business functions.
Yes, exactly. This is where it gets maybe even more profound. You leap from avoiding concrete and steel costs to avoiding the huge ongoing expense of human infrastructure, specialized teams, talent acquisition.
Okay, so let's take an example from the sources, like artificialoptimization.com. That name doesn't replace a building, it replaces a service. How does the replacement cost work there?
Right. Well, think about what that name represents. It suggests an entire AI consultancy firm, right?
Yeah.
So what costs are you avoiding? It's not just office rent.
It's the people.
It's a huge annual payroll for top-tier AI engineers, data scientists, maybe executives. It's the recruitment fees to even find those people. It's years of marketing salary just to build enough trust so clients actually believe you can do artificial optimization.
So the domain itself signals that expertise instantly.
It carries that instant authority globally. A potential client sees that name, and there's an immediate assumption of competence. It effectively skips the first, say, 3 to 5 years of desperately trying to build credibility.
The value is in accelerating trust and market entry, maybe even more than just avoiding salaries. Okay, what about something like SaveTime.now? Seems simpler, like an app.
Well, think bigger. That name establishes a global software as a service identity. SaaS subscription software online. It replaces a whole productivity company. Meaning it replaces the need for maybe millions in branding agency fees, massive marketing campaigns, building the whole infrastructure just to get the idea of saving time via our service into the market's head. The name is the concept. It's the global portal for saving time, instantly recognizable.
That's replacing entire go-to-market strategies. Now, the sources mention some really cutting-edge stuff, like AgentaAI.com. What on earth is that replacing? It sounds less tangible than even a consultancy.
Yeah, this is fascinating. AgentaAI.com points to the next wave of AI, right? Autonomous agents, software that can manage complex tasks, delegate work for you. So what's being replaced? In a way, it's replacing delegation itself, or at least the human friction involved. Think about the hidden cost of managers spending hours coordinating tasks, the complexity of training people, the inefficiency.
Wow. So AgenticAI.com basically signals we automate the management layer.
Kind of, yeah. It signals a solution that replaces that vast, often invisible cost of human coordination, management time, and the whole complex process of effective delegation. The domain embodies that efficiency promise.
So the value isn't just the company behind the name, but the sheer volume of human effort and, frankly, inefficiency that the tech, framed by that name, aims to eliminate.
Absolutely. And look at another one, HumanSyncCI.com. What does that imply? It captures the enormous, expensive effort of traditional R&D departments.
R&D, how so?
Think labs, prototypes, years of research, maybe complex IP filings. And crucially, UX teams, user experience those people whose entire job is to make incredibly complex tech feel simple, intuitive, sync with humans.
Ah, the sync part.
Right. That domain instantly communicates that massive investment. It's a statement of progress, suggesting that the hard work of making AI human-friendly has been done. It compresses potentially billions in R&D investment into a brand promise.
Like a billion-dollar R&D lab distilled into a URL. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. We've covered physical, we've covered labor and function. What about replacing soft costs? Things like branding, building communities, crossing cultural divides.
Yeah, these are often the killers for businesses, the hidden costs, the sheer time and money trying to get cultural traction or break into a new country. It could just sink you.
Okay, example time. Genero.ai sounds super specific. Rio de Janeiro, obviously. How does that replace something on a global scale?
Good question. It replaces complex cultural branding and international expansion hurdles. Imagine a tech startup, maybe doing AI based in Rio. They need credibility fast, maybe talking to VCs in Silicon Valley or partners in Asia.
Right, normally a huge challenge.
Normally years of work, local marketing, translators, explaining the cultural context. Genero.ai bypasses a lot of that. It instantly acts as this passport of innovation from that specific, vibrant place. The name itself builds the bridge.
So it eliminates the need for costly international PR firms, maybe regional offices, just to establish that cultural connection.
Exactly. It becomes the instant global identity rooted in a specific, desirable culture. It connects Rio's tech scene to the world with zero friction.
An instant global hub for a specific idea. Okay, what about Domain.industries? That sounds meta.
It is meta, and it replaces entire ecosystems. Think about the cost and effort of running industry trade shows, printing physical magazines, renting conference halls, all the places where professionals in the domain industry currently meet and share info.
Right, the traditional infrastructure.
Domain.industries aims to become that central infrastructure online. The meeting place, the news source, the marketplace, all compressed into one digital location, replacing potentially millions in annual ecosystem costs.
And we see this even down to specific events, right? Like DevConnectRG.f.
Yeah, that's a great example of replacing event infrastructure. A single name can function like the digital equivalent of a physical booth at a conference, or the work of a local PR team, or even a temporary office. It unites a community for an event in this case. Developers connecting in Argentina, using a Web3 address instantly, without borders or rent.
It's the instant organizer.
Which brings up a really important point you touched on. If value is tied to replacement cost, how does this whole philosophy apply to the really new stuff? The Web3 frontier, decentralized assets.
Right, because that feels even more abstract. This is where the replacement cost idea gets even wider, doesn't it? Moving beyond companies to replacing things like borders, financial systems.
Exactly. Let's talk ENS domains, like LAT.F. Now, for listeners maybe not deep into crypto, what's an ENS domain doing?
Okay, ENS, Ethereum Name Service. It's basically like a user-friendly nickname for your long crypto wallet address, but it's also becoming a decentralized identity layer for Web3.
Right. Functionally, it replaces the old centralized DNS system for these new applications and acts as that readable address. So LAT.F, standing for Latin America.
Yeah.
What's that replacing?
It's not just a label. It's aiming to replace, in a digital sense, national borders. Layers and layers of marketing, branding, community building that would normally be needed to create a cohesive identity for a region within the decentralized web.
That's huge, isn't it? A single decentralized name doing the work that normally takes governments, trade bodies, massive budgets, and years of political effort to coordinate regional identity.
That utility that avoided complexity and cost is what's being compressed into LAA.F.
Precisely. Instant cohesion for a whole region online.
Okay, and let's hit my favorite example from the sources because it nails the cost avoidance idea. Wallet.charity.
Oh, yeah, this one's powerful. It's almost philanthropy as code. Think about traditional global charities, the overhead.
Oh man, layers of administration, banking compliance in dozens of countries, regulatory hurdles, payment gateway fees taking a cut.
Exactly. If a charity wants donations from everywhere, they're navigating this incredibly complex, expensive web of financial systems. Paying fees on every single donation, dealing with delays.
It eats into the actual impact.
Hugely. So Wallet.charity, it proposes to replace that entire global payment gateway system specifically for good causes. It cuts out the corporate friction, slashes those transaction fees, offers transparency.
It provides a direct, trusted path for the money.
The domain becomes the instant, trustworthy solution for complex global philanthropy routing. You're literally avoiding massive banking infrastructure costs and ensuring more money goes directly to the cause.
It completely confirms the principle. The name performs the function. The value comes from the economic utility. The cost is it eliminates time, money, risk, friction.
We've gone all the way from replacing physical land to human labor, R&D labs, cultural branding, entire industry ecosystems, even global financial plumbing and geographic borders.
That's why Schwartz insists it's math. You're calculating the avoided cost, the value created by not having to build the old expensive way. So, okay, wrapping this up. What does this really mean for you, listening to this? We started out framing domains as, maybe speculative trading cards, but hopefully we've shown they're much more. They're not just digital real estate. They are potent tools of economic compression.
They really do condense these huge, complex business models, all the risk, the overhead, the years of brand building, into just a few memorable words, delivered instantly, globally.
And Rick Schwartz spotted this potential, this incredible efficiency, over 30 years ago, long before most people took the internet seriously.
It's pretty remarkable foresight. The valuation model seems simple. What does it replace? But the scale of the costs being avoided is just astronomical sometimes.
So here's the final thought for you to chew on. Look again at the domain names you type every single day. They might be doing way more work and be worth way more than just their last sale price suggests.
Ask yourself, what complex, expensive structure in your world, your industry, your work, maybe even a social problem, what massive costs could potentially be compressed, bypassed, or eliminated by a single, powerful, well-chosen name? That's the real question this model pushes us to ask.
Something to think about. Until next time.